I'm recording this in June of 2021. I have mixed feelings about something I see in the current events. A lot of people are quitting their jobs. Apparently, it's been nicknamed the Great Resignation. I don't have plans on quitting my job, and so I kind of like it because I feel like a lot of competition is out of the way. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for me to negotiate better working conditions. I talked about this in my other videos. I feel a whole lot freer to speak up about things at work now that I feel like I have a lot less pressure, right? I talked about how I talked my boss into using a different air freshener that was healthier for the office. I talked about how I like to do intermittent fasting, and I've been a lot freer to tell my coworkers, hey, would you mind eating in the break area instead of the office? There's a lot of distraction for me. I feel a whole lot freer to say that because I know that there's less competition to replace me if a discussion like that were to go south, right? And it hasn't gone south. And so I have mixed feelings. At the same time that I feel a lot of my competition is going, I also feel that a lot of my friends are leaving. And I also wonder what they see that I don't see, right? Why are they quitting their jobs? Are they going to something better? Is there something that I don't know at work that is hurting me? Who knows? I'll try to enjoy whatever it is that it is. But I want to mention that I'm glad that I got this financial stress test that was the quarantine of 2020 and 2021, and to make me more aware of some of my financial habits. Not that they were that bad going into the pandemic, but I had some habits that I corrected during the pandemic. I had 3 money drains, financial drains. I'll let you pause the video to think about some financial drains that you corrected in your life. My big one was binge eating problems. I mean, it was a financial and a health drain and a social drain. A lot of times I would miss out on social occasions because all I wanted to think about was what I wanted to eat next. And I noticed how much extra money I have. I remember the first month of my New Year's resolution. See, my New Year's resolution for January of 2020, if you can believe it, before we got into COVID-19, was to develop a healthier relationship with food. And I started by doing some intermittent fasting. I did a fast on New Year's Day of 2020. It was only 24 hours. I did one for Lent, at the beginning of Lent of 2020. I did one for, I can't remember what other occasions. Both of my parents have birthdays in February. I think I did one each for both of my parents. And I remember when I was paying my credit card bill in February of 2020, I was pleasantly surprised at how much lower the balance was. I practically, most of my credit card bill is pretty much for food, right? And so I was pleasantly surprised. It was almost like a stimulus, if I remember correctly. Well, we didn't call it stimulus back. It was almost like a tax cut, if I remember correctly, except that it was my body taxing me, right? Unfortunately, not long after that, my hours were drastically cut at work, of course, but I was ahead of the game. I had something saved up before that happened. So that was my number 1 money drain. My number 2 money drain was, and this one the pandemic really helped, was traveling when I didn't really need to, right? So when I go to the Computer Olympiad, a lot of that stuff could have been done remotely, right? But unfortunately, nobody wanted to try that before the pandemic. It made me realize how many of my friends I would go visit when a lot of our relationship could have continued remotely. Not that it's wrong to visit our friends, but it made me rethink my priorities, right? If I'm gonna be traveling, I'd much rather travel when I actually need to travel, right? For example, right now, I love the sunny weather here in Phoenix, Arizona. I know it's crazy because right now during the daytime it can get out into the triple digits, but I really like it, right? That's something you really can't do remotely, right? The clean air over here and the locals here, right? I talked about how back home in Seattle, I don't fit there. I mean, it's a very progressive city, but they're progressive with who they want to be progressive with, right? The number 3 money drain, I'm sorry if this is going to insult people, but dating. I'm a sucker for not wanting to break the beat of the drum, right? If a date wants to do something, I have a hard time steering things my way. And knowing when to say no is going to be a big one that I work on. I'm a little bit nervous right now, actually, because I'm driving a 10-year-old car. It's a Mitsubishi Lancer 2011, and I know that car is going to need to be replaced or repaired anytime soon, right? And I'm a little bit worried because the last time when I went to buy that car, I got talked up into adding on a ton of stuff that I really didn't need, and not because I didn't understand it. So the guy sold me a bunch of warranties, and I knew I didn't need them. What I didn't know was socially how to say no. I'm going to have to deal with that at some point. And it makes me really, really nervous every time I drive that car. You know, definitely don't want to be getting into an accident, and definitely want to be very careful with everything, making sure to stay on top of maintenance, which is not a bad idea anyway. But I'm already dreading the day when I have to sit across the desk from somebody trying to sell me all this crap that I don't need, or going to the repair shop and having to negotiate stuff, and knowing full well, scientifically, what I need and what I don't, but not knowing socially how to deal with it. And you can see why dating can be such a financial drain to me from that, right? Anyways, what financial problems did the pandemic help you correct? Leave a comment.